and welcome back to my channel. I'm Madison Herman and this is Self Indulgence, where I talk about books, genres, and just any literary thing. Today we're continuing our discussion of thrillers, which seems to be my preferred genre to this point. This time we're focusing on a mystery thriller titled What Lies in the Woods by Kate Alice Marshall. This marks the first time we're exploring this author's works on the channel. Like the last book I discussed, I prefer this style of writing over the famous McFadden. Marshall's ability to captivate me with a sense of mystery really makes me believe that any character could be a suspect. It's the kind of storytelling that could keep me on my toes. So let's dive right in. Here's a quick summary for people who need a refresher or others who might want to read the book themselves. As children, Naomi Shaw and her best friends, Cassidy and Olivia, lived in a world of myth and magic, using their vivid imagination to escape their very different realities. Naomi, neglected by her alcoholic father, found solace in their shared adventures, especially in The Goddess Game, where they pretended to be figures of Greek mythology. Their fantasy world grew dark after they stumbled upon a mysterious discovery deep in the woods, a secret that made their games even more intense. But that summer, fantasy turned and twisted into a nightmare. Naomi was viciously attacked, stabbed 17 times, and left for dead. Traumatized but alive, they identified the attacker, a serial killer who was already responsible for the death of many other women. He was caught and jailed based on the testimony of the three girls. Naomi's memories are foggy at best, but she and her friends survived to tell the tale. Now, 22 years later, the supposed killer has died in prison, and Naomi is drawn back to her hometown of Chester, haunted by guilt, tangled secrets, and the lies they told. The friends must face the dark truths hidden beneath the memories of what really happened in those woods. This is your last chance to read the book. It is a really fun mystery, so I highly recommend reading it, especially if the summary has interested you even in the slightest. It's available for free on Kindle Unlimited, not sponsored, and so if you happen to have that service, you could go ahead and read it. So proceed at your own risk. Let's start with the flaws, as it's better to hear the bad news before I could sing the book's praises. I find the pacing to be wildly inconsistent. Long periods will go by where nothing happens, and then bam! A bunch of stuff happens, and a sudden reveal. I enjoy the tension of the quieter scenes, but it honestly feels like we are meandering around sometimes. I think that there's a possibility of having a good balance between the two. Additionally, the large cast of side characters have both its advantages and disadvantages. On one hand, it makes the town feel more lively and realistic. I could really believe that this is the place where Naomi grew up. But on the other hand, there are so many names to remember. I think the book will benefit significantly from focusing more on a few essential people instead of spreading the attention around a larger, mostly unimportant cast of characters. A quick side tangent, Naomi makes such classic horror or thriller movie protagonist decisions. Going alone in the woods more times than I can count is insane. I'm still not convinced if I love or hate it, but it surely is entertaining. And just in case you need an added refresher if you have read the book, the true attacker of the night was not the notorious serial killer that Naomi testifies it was. It was actually her two friends, obsessed and lost in the fantasy of the Goddess Games. At least, Olivia believed in it. The true mastermind, Cassidy, was jealous of the two's connection. She convinces Olivia to help her kill Naomi, and she uses the veil of the fantasy world they created to manipulate her to go through with her plans. I honestly like this. I really like the twist. It's just unfortunate that it was rushed at the end. All this build-up, and then it's just bam, 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 bam. I would prefer for it to, just be, not so quick, and, it feels like you're just rushing to finish the book. It makes it feel very unsatisfying. And I think that covers my general thoughts on the flaws. So swiftly moving forward. First of all, I just like Naomi as a protagonist. She's interesting and has a survivor mentality, even when she wanders into the woods alone. Reckless, maybe, but she is always very brave and willing to do anything to correct the wrong she has made when she was just a little girl. She is such a haunted character, constantly downing her own memory and what she went through in the past, and I really enjoy reading a protagonist like that. I also found myself liking Ethan. He was a good anchor for Naomi as she searched for the truth. He kept her steady and helped any way he could. Yes, of course, I know he was lying about his past, son of a serial killer, but he still had a big heart and didn't excuse his father's actions and wanted to find the truth just as much as Naomi did. I'm just glad the crazy kids ended up together. They really, balance each other out with their, mentalities. And like I was saying about the twist, I really do like it. I was only starting to put the pieces together 2/3 of the way through. Cassidy started showing her hand more and more as Naomi got closer to the truth. Many characters had the potential to have a motive, so discovering the mystery was a lot of fun and definitely, kept me reading. I don't think there was ever a time that I was disinterested in the story that I was reading. The twist reminded me very vividly of the Slenderman stabbing back in 2014, where, like this novel, two girls attempted to stab their friend to death to appease and sacrifice her to a fictional horror character in creepypasta Slenderman. Thankfully, they were unsuccessful, like the novel, and I could only imagine this is where Kate Marshall got her inspiration, since it's so similar. The motive of stabbing was the exact reason Olivia, Cassidy just wanted her dead, but for Olivia, it was a sacrifice to a higher power, the goddesses they created. Real stabbing aside, it was a very interesting motive for the story. The hurdles all the parents and other members of Cass and Olivia's families went through to hide the truth from Naomi. The fact that it took Olivia to die just for things to start making sense of that night, it's just also tragic, and it really adds to the tension and drive of the protagonist Naomi. I like how we, the readers, are just discovering the truth along with her. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Self Indulgence. I have to change gears and talk about different genres soon. I just realized when looking over my notes that this is the third thriller book in a row that takes place in the woods with a female protagonist, and I feel like a knucklehead for not putting all that together when I was reading them. I ranked this 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. It was a great mystery, and I would recommend it to somebody who loves good tension and characters with mysterious motives. So if you're curious about what I'm currently reading or just want to silently judge my taste, feel free to follow me on Goodreads. Thank you for watching, and consider leaving a like and subscribing if you're interested in more. Bye!